Imagine being punished for a mistake by being forced to work on Shrek? Believe it or not, that's exactly what happened at DreamWorks Animation. But here's the twist. The movie they didn't want to work on became a cultural icon. Let's dive into this bizarre piece of animation history. In the late 1990s, DreamWorks Pictures was the new kid on the block, eager to make a splash. After Mimi Leder's The Peacemaker kicked things off in 1997, the studio quickly released a string of high-profile films like Steven Spielberg's dramatic Amistad and Gore Verbinski's family-friendly Mouse Hunt. But DreamWorks had even bigger plans to challenge Disney's animation throne. In 1998, they released Ants and the Prince of Egypt, signaling their serious entry into the world of animated movies. Then came 2000, with The Road to El Dorado and Aardman Animation's stop-motion masterpiece, Chicken Run. DreamWorks was already proving to be a formidable competitor, but the best was yet to come. Then 2001 rolled around, and DreamWorks unleashed Shrek upon the world. This wasn't your typical fairy tale. It was a hilarious, irreverent satire that poked fun at everything Disney stood for. Audiences loved it. Shrek was a massive hit, launching a multimedia franchise that's still going strong today. In fact, an entire generation has grown up with Shrek and his swampy adventures, and those movies are now considered classics. The film's success was so immense that it even influenced Disney's approach to storytelling. Frozen, for example, subtly incorporated some of the same self-deprecating humor and anti-establishment themes that made Shrek so popular. But here's where it gets controversial. Nobody, least of all the DreamWorks executives, anticipated the phenomenal success of Shrek. According to Nicole Laporte's tell-all book, The Men Who Would Be King, an almost epic tale of moguls, movies, and a company called DreamWorks, Shrek was originally seen as a punishment. The prestige project at the time was The Prince of Egypt, a sweeping musical epic. If an animator made a mistake on The Prince of Egypt, they were demoted to the Shrek team. Irony, right? The movie, considered a setback, ended up making far more money than the project everyone coveted. The Prince of Egypt was a serious, ambitious undertaking, a full-blown musical retelling of the Book of Exodus, featuring an all-star voice cast including Val Kilmer as Moses, Ralph Fiennes as Ramesses, and supported by Michelle Pfeiffer, Patrick Stewart, Helen Mirren, Jeff Goldblum, Sandra Bullock, Danny Glover, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. Landing such A-list talent for an animated film was a rare feat back then. The Prince of Egypt was designed to be a prestige picture, a direct challenge to Disney's animation dominance during the Disney Renaissance. The studio poured time, money, and energy into the film, and it earned 2 Oscar nominations, ultimately winning for Best Song. This was before the Best Animated Feature Oscar existed. Otherwise, it likely would have won that too. Shrek, on the other hand, was a silly comedy about an ogre. It also boasted a star-studded cast: Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow. But it was considered the lesser project. An anonymous animator told Laporte that Shrek was seen as a form of disciplinary action. It was known as the Gulag. If you failed on Prince of Egypt, you were sent to the dungeons to work on Shrek. It seemed no one wanted to be Shreked. And this is the part most people miss. The original vision for Shrek was far more grotesque than what we see on screen. Drawing inspiration from William Steig's book, Shrek was intended to be the most disgusting creature imaginable. He was supposed to marry the second most disgusting creature, and they would have equally revolting offspring. Understandably, not many animators were thrilled to work on such a film. Plus, the fact that it was computer animated likely turned off some traditional animators, who may have seen it as less prestigious than hand-drawn animation. Even the cleaned-up version of Shrek was considered too gross for some, as the New York Post noted in 2010. Remember, Shrek is an ogre who lives in a swamp and bathes in mud. In the opening scene, he exits an outhouse and then takes a swamp bath, complete with a fart that kills the nearby fish. While it seems tame now, a major studio release opening with poop and fart jokes was a major gamble at the time. Co-director Vicky Jenson recalled feeling extremely nervous when Shrek premiered at Cannes. Here we are sitting in tuxedos and evening gowns, wearing borrowed jewels, and everyone's watching Shrek take a poot in the water. Even DreamWorks co-founder Jeffrey Katzenberg, then the head of animation, feared that Shrek would be a disaster, saying, "For the first 10 minutes, nothing. My heart was thumping. My forehead was breaking out in a sweat. I said to myself, they're going to burn the place down." Instead, Shrek became DreamWorks' biggest hit. A sequel was quickly greenlit, and Shrek 2 became the highest-grossing film of 2004 worldwide. The franchise spawned spin-off films starring Antonio Banderas's Puss in Boots, a hit Broadway musical, and at least 12 video games, along with amusement park attractions. The ogre, once envisioned as the grossest creature, has become a family-friendly icon. Shrek may have farted in a bog, but it turned out to be a very good thing for DreamWorks. So what do you think? Was DreamWorks right to initially see Shrek as a less desirable project? Did the film's initial gross-out humor contribute to its success? Could The Prince of Egypt have achieved similar cultural impact if it had been marketed differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below.